Good evening, everybody, or good afternoon to everybody. We are live for episode 51 of Angel in the Afternoon. And no guest this week. I'm by my lonesome, but that's fine because I'm going to be with you for 60 to 90 minutes, depending of how long I'm able to stay on. So we're going to get started in a minute. Hope everybody had a great weekend or a great week. I hope everybody has a great weekend. Make sure you like, subscribe, follow, all that good stuff. So make sure that's all done. Also, thank you very much for the support in these 51 episodes. I mean, never thought I would do three of these, let alone 51. I mean, it is just absolutely incredible to me that I'm able to do that many and many episodes and to be able to work from everybody. Hey Steph, subscribe, all that good stuff. So we're gonna get started here in a minute. I'm just getting everything together because, quite frankly, I should do this before, but it just doesn't happen. It's just the same old thing for me. So okay, I'm ready to go. Oops, no, yes, that one. So if you haven't, just give me a like and subscribe. That helps quite a bit with this. So yeah, so let's start up with this. Do actually, you know what? Let's just do like this. Yeah, that works better. It'd be nice if I actually make this bigger. There you go. So this is I'm gonna start off funny because just I before I get into the more serious stuff today. So this is James Carville, and he's going to give the Democratic Party advice on how to attract younger voters, in particular Gen Zers. So let's see what he has to say and what is his advice for the Democratic Party. So,
Are you kidding me? Is this the United States of America? Is this the nation that was founded on the principle that no person is above the law? And then you tell these young people, if you don't get involved right now in this election, they're going to be involved in your life for the rest of your freaking life. And if Trump and Roberts and Alito and Gorsuch and Thomas and Leonard Leo and the Heritage Foundation.
the Heritage Foundation and all of these bad people. If you young people don't vote, this is what's gonna happen. Let's keep going.
If they get a hold, there will be no government left. There will be no rights left. You'll live under theocracy. You'll end up with Christian nationalism. But that's all right, you little fucking 26-year-old.
You little fucking 26-year-old.
You don't feel like the election's important to me. They're not addressing the issues that I care about. Well, the New York Times wrote a story about the Harvard Youth Poll, which is a pretty good, well-regarded thing. A guy named John Della Volpe.
Yeah.
Very recently, they gave the youngsters the 15 most important issues. Clocking in at number 14 was student debt. You wouldn't know that if you read the fucking press. Number 15 was the issue of Palestine.
You wouldn't know that.
High on the list was abortion, was interest rates, was housing affordability. Well, all of these other things. You are being insufficiently served by the commentariat, and to some extent, you're being insufficiently served through Democratic messages. So my advice.
So this is going to be his advice to the Democratic Party: how to woo young voters.
to tell these young people to get off your motherfucking ass and go vote, because you should vote like your entire future and the entire future of this United States depends on it, because quite frankly, it does. And that's not an exaggeration.
All
Efficiently
right, I got to
served
play that again. It's hilarious.
by the commentariat, and to some extent, you're being insufficiently served through democratic messages. So my advice to tell these young people to get off your motherfucking ass and go vote, because you should vote like your entire future and the entire future of this United States depends on it, because quite frankly, it does.
Nice.
And that's not an exaggeration.
So that's how you attract youth voters. That's how you attract Gen Zers. Just call them motherfuckers. I mean, apparently that's according to James Carville. That's what they are. You know, that's the way to attract youth voters. Just call them motherfuckers. Like, that's makes sense, right? I mean, just cuss them out. You know, that's how you just call them motherfuckers. Say, you know, they're lazy. Get off your fucking asses. Some fucking 26-year-old. You know, that's what you got to do. Just cuss them out, and that's how you get Gen Zers to vote for the party. So yeah, that was James Carville giving us some strategy for the Democratic Party and how to win elections. Did I get banned on INN? No, I don't think so. Bad cookies. I see your chat here, so I don't know what you're referring to. I don't normally. Thank you for joining us. I normally don't want to see old people physically assaulted, but this guy could use an adjustment. He's like, get your motherfucking asses into vote. Yep. So yeah, so you should be. Everybody should. Thank you for joining me. Give me a like if you haven't already, because it helps the stream and more people see me. So yeah, that was James Carville. Cussing out young people. He's in his old man yells at cloud phase of his life. So I have to go through my goddamn bookmarks, because since I don't have a blue check mark, my bookmarks all over the place. So I can't find all the shit that I want to refer to. So, but yeah, you know what? Let's just get started with not that, not that. Yes, this. See, I bookmarks all over the place because I can't organize them because I don't have that blue check mark, and I'm not paying for the shit. Not yet, at least. I may have to pay for the shit because this is ridiculous, and I can't find. It's not in order. I can't find the shit that I want to talk about. So here we go. So uh, let's get started with Israel. Excuse me, Israel. That's right. So the House GOP. This was a couple. This yesterday. The House GOP led Anti-Semitism Awareness Act, which mandates the Department of Education to use contested IHRA definition of anti-Semitism, with a bipartisan vote by 320 to 91. So it passed. I mean, it wasn't like it barely passed. Let's see, 187 Republicans voted yes, 21 voted no. 133 Democrats voted yes, 170 voted no, excuse me, for a total of 320 to 91, with 18 no votes. So yeah, great majority. So these are the list of Democrats who voted against it. I don't know. You could see the shit. Nope, can't see it at all. Hold on. Let's see. That's a little better, even though it's quite fucking small. So these are all the Democrats who voted against it. Quite frank, I'm not impressed with any of these people. They were like, "Oh yeah, well we'll vote against it because it's going to pass anyways. But we don't have to actually, vote for this. So yeah, go ahead, vote against it." So we have Gosar. We have, let's see, any names I recognize. Whoops. Oh, Corey Bush voted against it. Last time I saw, she's down by like 25 points in her home district. So that's probably the last we'll see of her this year. Let's see. Oh, AOC voted against it. Ilhan Omar voted against it. Jao Paul voted against it. Clyburn. Let's see. Cardenas, Clyde, Collins, Davis, Velasquez, Underwood. Who? Frank Underwood? Who's Underwood? I assume that has to be Frank Underwood. Yeah, I'm referencing House of Cards. So if you don't know who Frank Underwood is, that's House of Cards. So yeah, so these are all Democrats who voted against it. I'm not impressed by any of these people. So sorry, not impressed. Oops. No, no, I actually do want to show that. Hold on. Excuse me. I didn't even bother reading this. It'd be nice if I would have read this article, but no. The votes mean nothing because they decide the outcome first. Yeah, I mean it makes it's there's nothing here other than there's nothing here other than a giant virtue signal. Like, oh yeah, since it's gonna pass anyways, let's just vote in favor. Let's just vote in favor against this, so our base will give us a round of applause. Like, oh, you see, you're doing the right thing. You're voting against a bill that's called the Anti-Semitism Awareness Act, which is a clear violation of the First Amendment, anyways. So it'll probably get slapped down in the Supreme Court. But still, I mean, you at least you did the right thing and voted against it. Fuck off. I expect more than that out of people in Congress. Mhm. So was MTG a nay? You know what? Let me see. I didn't really see her name here. Uh, McGarvey, McCovern, Moore, McCollum, McClelland, Massey, Marjorie Taylor Greene. Oh, she'd be in the G's. Hold on. Matt Gaetz voted against it. Garimaldi, Garcia, two Garcias voted against it. Gosar, Green, and Green. No, she's not here. MTG is not here. So no, she's voted pro. Yeah, she did vote pro. I remember seeing her name in the pros. So yeah, she voted for it. Yeah, I didn't see her. Uh, oh, she did. Yeah, she did. I didn't see Green. It's right there. So yeah, to be fair, let me correct the record. She did vote against it. So sorry about that. I obviously cannot see right now. So I know I got it. I got it. Bad cookies. I screwed it up. At first. She did vote against it, so I have to correct the record there. Made an obvious mistake. So yeah. So that's. I mean, obviously unconstitutional. Obviously, like yeah, who cares? Let's just because we all love Israel so much. Let's all fucking go and vote in favor of it. Let's make a law that literally says, "Oh, you cannot criticize Israel. You cannot protest against Israel. You can't do anything, or else we're gonna put you in fucking jail." I guess I don't know what the intention is with that legislation, but it's not good. It's way too unconstitutional and way too I already did that. Way too, bullshit. So all right, so let's get to this. You don't have freedom of speech anymore. And this is why. Now let's take a look at this. These are all US presidents and prominent people and politicians, having to go and, pray to the wall in Israel in Jerusalem. So this is the wall, right? It's like some sort of wall you have to pray to in order to suck up to suck up to Israel. Make sure you're well known. Make sure I'm pro-Israel. So yeah, this is a silent video. Here's Donald Trump. Here's Barack Obama. This is Bill Clinton. Every president. Hillary Clinton did it too. Let's see, Joe Biden. There's Joe Biden. Mike Pence. Let's see, who's next? Rand Paul. They're all doing it. Prince William, no, even the crown. Pope Francis, even the Pope. Justin Bieber for some reason had to do it. Jair Bolsonaro and Benjamin Netanyahu, Mitt Romney, Mike Pompeo, I butchered his name. Vladimir Putin even did it. Volodymyr Zelensky of Ukraine did it as well. Boris Johnson, Emmanuel Macron, Ron DeSantis, uh, Lionel Messi, even Messi did it. George Herbert Walker Bush, H.W. Bush, George W. Here he is right there. I have to Joe Lieberman, John McCain. It keeps going. Mike Bloomberg, Jared Kushner, Ivanka Trump, Mike Huckabee, uh, Nikki Haley, Jada Pinkett Smith, and Will Smith. It goes on another minute. Jennifer Lopez, Vern Troy. This is okay. I knew that is Robert Kraft and Tom Brady, uh, Ronnie Coleman, Ben Stiller, Ted Cruz, Morgan Freeman, David Arquette, Russell Simmons, Bill De Blasio. This goes on. I mean, Newt Gingrich, Jimmy Carter, Tony Blair, King Charles III, Ronald Reagan, and that's it. So every elite, from sport to politics to actors to musicians, everyone has to bend. Everyone has to bend the knee or bend to the wall in Jerusalem for some reason. It's very interesting on why they have to do that. I mean, that's what I want to know why. I mean, we can speculate here. We can sit here and speculate all day, but why? Why do okay, politicians, US politicians, I kind of get it for election purposes, like, oh well, let me go and suck up to Israel in order to, to get votes in my district or to become president. But why sports stars, why celebrities, why musicians, why actors? I mean, it's an interesting question. We can speculate about it all day. If you're joining the stream, thank you very much. Give me a like, give me a subscription, share the stream. Appreciate all the support I've gotten, and I hope to continue some more. So, yeah, so we already established that Israel has a lot of power here in the U.S. I mean, that's been established over the year. That's been established for years now, as long as I've been alive. It's not just a recent thing. So let's see. So as everybody knows, we have these major protests in universities around the country. And it starts with WEF pigs who want to delete more poor people. Yeah, I mean, these are scumbags. I mean, they want to make sure that that we remain basically as poor as possible and fighting each other like the Hunger Games. I mean, I've not seen a single one. I've seen like the first two. How many movies are there? 4 or 5. I only seen the first two, and I kind of lost interest. It was too real for me. Like this is our future, and it's they're telling us, which is why I stopped watching these movies. But it's like the Hunger Games. So let's see. Let's go. As everybody knows, Colombia, they are, there's protests around the country. The NYPD recently was ordered to clear the Columbia University, the pro, not, I'm about to say pro Israeli, excuse me, pro Palestinian camp was cleared alongside a bunch of kids were arrested, and a bunch of kids were, had their get them. Let me not tongue tie myself. Got their asses kicked and got arrested. So far the most of the people that been arrested are basically kids. Kids that are pro Palestinian. I wish that I would have fucking bookmarked this, but here it is. I did bookmark it. So this is a video from Hotspot, which is a great source. Follow them on Twitter at Hotspot. So that's their tag, their Twitter handle. The U.S. police arrested more protesters in the last 2 weeks than Hong Kong did in 6 months of protests in 2019. The United States police arrested more protesters than the Chinese did in 2019. Can you imagine that for a second? And they were more violent too. So let's watch a quick little video here.
Arrested more protesters in just 2 weeks than Hong Kong police arrested in 4 months in the 2019 civil unrest. In the US, by Thursday, more than 2,000 mostly peaceful anti-genocide campaigners had been arrested, with the total growing at an average of more than 100 a day, according to calculations from Associated Press and other sources. In Hong Kong in 2019, it took from June to mid-October to reach a total of 2,300 arrests. The contrast is even more extraordinary when you consider the comparative levels of violence. The US anti-genocide campaigners have generally been victims of violence rather than perpetrators. In contrast, the Hong Kong anti-China protests, with multiple streams of finance, were extremely violent, with a constant flow of arson attacks, damage to property, attacks on police officers, and showers of Molotov cocktails. And the protesters even planned a terrorist-grade mass casualty attack, which Western media have chosen not to report. I think by now everyone knows that there are double standards in what we read about the East compared to what we read about the West. So this is just another example, albeit a particularly egregious one. Stay skeptical. Read widely.
All right. So as everybody can see here, the U.S. police have arrested, I repeat, arrested more people than the Chinese did during the uprising in Hong Kong in 2019, and those protesters were a lot more violent than what these Palestinian pro-Palestinian protesters are. So even the Chinese, the authoritarians they were more patient with the protesters than what American police have been with these protesters who are mostly nonviolent. Excuse me. And excuse me. Then we have, the police is completely out of control in this country. Just arresting protesters for no reason. Because as far as I know, they've not committed any major act of violence or crimes. So yeah, I mean, oh yeah, let me plug this. Where is it? Yes, on Sunday we're filming a special episode of Kurt Henning's The Best Wrestler Changed My Mind podcast, which he perfect. My co-host tomorrow night, Pro Wrestling Talk, 8 Central. No, it's 8 Eastern. Jesus, I mean, I'm all over the place today. But yeah, this is going to be Sunday. Well, if you're a wrestling fan, it's not going to be filmed live. It'll be uploaded probably Monday, she said. But yeah, I mean, we'll be reviewing the Dark Side of the Ring episode of Sandman, which I've not watched yet, so I do actually have to watch it. So yeah, that'll be Sunday, film Sunday. Saturday, we're going to be live for Pro Wrestling Talk. So that's Sunday night, Saturday night, 8 o'clock. Sunday afternoon, we'll be filming that episode. Will be uploaded Monday. So yeah, so I have a busy weekend. And hope everybody would join us if you're a wrestling fan, Pro Wrestling Talk. So let's keep going. So let's see. What else is then, as everybody knows, we have the protests in Columbia University. And I want to do a monologue about, what's going on with these protests and ultimately whether I think these students can accomplish anything or not. Uh, no, am I fine on light? Because it's getting dark here, so I don't know whether everybody can see me or not. But, anyways, let me get to this. What do I think? So, I think, first of all, these students are admirable. They're doing the Lord's work. If you're a Christian, if not, they're doing a great thing. I think they're doing the Lord's work. They're doing whatever God you believe in or not. So, anyways, yeah, but ultimately, what can they accomplish? Who knows? At this point, I don't know whether how, because the U.S. the like I pointed out before, the U.S. is full of Zionists. I mean, if we are talking about just straight up like Zionists, people that are completely behind the state of Israel and they're completely behind Netanyahu and his war and his war in Gaza, and then he's about to invade Rafah soon. So yeah, they're completely behind that. It's not just the politicians, but the entire elite in this country, the entire power structure. They're completely behind the state of Israel and Netanyahu. So what can they accomplish? I don't know. I mean, it's like you're battling, a uphill battle against some of the most powerful people in the world, and Colombia is already made it clear they're not going to divest from Israel. I mean, it's like they're not going to, because real quick, how this would work is each university has a endowment, which means they get donations and stuff from their alumni and stuff like that. It's some of it's in the hundreds of millions, some of it's in the billions, and usually they take that money and invest it in the stock market, whether it's in Wall Street or whether they invested in other things. But most of the time is in Wall Street. So what the students are demanding basically is to have their university stop investing in the defense contractors or companies that that support Israel, and stuff like that. Columbia has made it clear they're not going to do that, and most universities are not going to do that. So yeah, so these students are completely in a situation where either A, they give up, or B, they stay there and pressure the universities to do something. The next likely scenario is what ended up happening is these students got their asses kicked and got arrested by U.S. police. And as you guys already seen, U.S. police have arrested more people than the Chinese did during the Hong Kong uprising in 2019. And the Hong Kong uprising were much more violent than what the pro-Palestinian protesters are doing here in the U.S. So retro, yeah, I mean, I'm a millennial too, and these students, they're doing the Lord's work. I don't know how much they can accomplish ultimately, because the U.S. is completely, like I've said, pro-Israel and pro-Zionist. But at the same, they're at least, they're doing more than what most people would do. And this again, let me go to this. Here we go. Well, yeah, I mean, there's some universities that promise voters. So let's get to Brown University demonstrators celebrated and hugged each other as they dismantled their encampment. Now, these kids are naive. They're kind of naive here. So Brown University demonstrators, let's see, they celebrate and hug each other as they dismantle their encampment after striking a deal with university officials to bring the divestment demands to a vote in October. All right, so this is naive. This is absolutely 100% naive. This is never going to work. And as Lauren says, for a fucking vote in October, how'd you guys fall for this? Because these kids are naive. They're still kids, ultimately they're going to Brown, so they're 18 to 21, 18 to 22, depending of how old they are. So let's play this real quick, because this is really naive, I think. And they claim that a lot of the professors are behind them. A lot of the professors are sympathize with their position, which is why they think they're going to vote the right way. But at the same time, to me, it's like kind of naive to think these professors are going and these administrators are going to vote the right way and divest. But they celebrated this is a victory. I don't think it's a victory, but it's kind of naive of them to think they're actually going to vote the right way. But we'll see what happens. But for now, let me play this.
The university has come to the table to listen to our demands and to listen to its students, and to consider divesting from war, divesting from death, divesting from occupation, divesting from war.
Look at that keyword there, consider. So they came to a deal to the university, like, oh, please consider, divesting from Israel. It's not a full blown demand of, yes, you need to divest. Oh no, please just give us a vote. Well, basically, to me, what the university did was, okay, let's give these kids a vote. Let's give them a fucking vote. Let's throw them a bone and give them a vote, because ultimately we're going to vote against it anyway in 6 months. So who cares? Let's just vote against this, and let's give them a bone. Say, oh yeah, we'll vote in 6 months. Don't worry about it. Vote, and then it's like, oh yeah, fuck you. We will vote against it. So that's what's most likely going to happen. These kids will have been screwed here, I think.
From war, divesting from death, divesting from occupation. I mean, we ask that it do more than consider, that it actually divest from those things, that our money as an institution of education, of higher learning, not be used to end lives, that it be used for knowledge.
So we have been encamping out here since Wednesday, calling on the university to meet our demands, which is divestment now and movement towards a free Palestine. And what we achieved was more than we asked for. We will be presenting at the May meeting divestment proposal. The divestment proposal will be put forward for a formal binding vote at the corporation's October meeting. We are, cleaning up because that was part of the conditions, is that this encampment end, but we are ending knowing that we made a huge victory for divestment at Brown. For this,
it's not a victory. It's not a victory. Basically, what they're doing is like, oh, well, we're going to present our proposal in May, and then in October, in about 6 months, like, oh yeah, let's just vote. Now hopefully the actual university will vote, to divest. I don't think that's really like super naive. It's like I think they made a mistake, and they made a big mistake. But let's see, maybe they do divest, but I don't buy that they actually do. They actually will divest. So yeah, so let's get to, where is it? So threats. So this is like the reason why this is the reason why liberals made a mistake when they pushed January 6th. Because now, all of a sudden, now we have a situation where we have MSNBC hosts and CNN hosts comparing the broken window at Brown University at their, what's that building called? I forget what, there's a certain building that are being occupied by the students, in which the cops eventually would go in there and arrest a bunch of these kids. But yeah, they are comparing that to January 6th. So we have MSNBC here, because this is why it's a huge mistake for these liberals to go along with the January 6th nonsense. So ADL's Jonathan Greenblatt compares pro-Palestine student to January 6th protesters by occupying, it's called Hamilton Hall. I should have probably looked at the tweet before I actually, talked about this, but hello Fred, thank you for joining us. Kurt, thank you. Let's see who else has joined us. I'm not paying attention to the chat. Let's see, Natalie, hi, thank you for joining us. Please, if you haven't, give me a like. I mean, it helps with the stream and stuff. So let's play this video here.
I see these videos. I see these images of mass protesters breaking into buildings, barricading them with furniture. And look, I'm reminded of January the 6th. That's what this looks like to me.
Oh, yeah, January 6th. I mean, let's smear these pro-peace protesters as January 6th, because that scares the MSNBC wine moms that watch this network. So the woman that married a rich husband and sit at home and drink wine all day, that's who MSNBC's audience is, and they're scared of what happened in January 6th, and they're scared of Orange Man Bad, aka Donald Trump. So which is why they know what they're doing when they invoke January 6th and compare it to these protesters.
I mean, we talk at ADL about right-wing extremists, about masked Proud Boys showing up at school board meetings, about Oath Keepers wearing masks. I look at this, and this is what I see. And let's be clear about one thing. The students who are doing this, the groups behind it, SJP, Palestinian Youth Movement, their response to President Shafiq's offer last night was, Columbia will burn. I mean, these students, we shouldn't treat them like children when they're hardened activists.
Well, they're adults, and go ahead.
They're adults. They're adults. Yeah, I mean now that means we get to kick the shit out of them because they're opposing our agenda. They're opposing our agenda. So thank you, Natalie, for liking. Let's see. I hate Biden. Should I arrest myself? Oh well, you might as well arrest yourself because they're coming for all of us anyways because we dare oppose Israel. So this is MSNBC correspondents keep comparing student protests to January 6th. I think this is Mika Brzezinski here this time.
Richard, to your point, I think that's the place we've all been sitting in watching this, going, what the hell is going on? What are these universities doing? Why aren't they doing something? And I'll echo the horror that this does look like January 6th. What a terrible example.
Boo, January 6th. See? MSNBC wine mom. Make sure you hate these kids because it's like January 6th, basically.
For our students. At the same time, these are young adults, and the question is, why do you choose to learn about the complexities of other situations around the world? But this one, you want to set up an encampment. This one, you want to scare people. This one, you want to come to the edge of violence or even go to violence.
Not the
this
edge.
one,
They're
you
breaking
risk
into buildings.
your future.
They're breaking into buildings. See? I mean, they're just like January 6th because they broke into Hamilton Hall, one building. Somehow that equals January 6th, and that invokes fear in the MSNBC audience. They're doing it on purpose.
And your education for. See, I think these college students obviously are missing the part where they need to see what's going on across the country with these protests, that it's now in the realm of violence. It's in the realm of hatred, whether some are peaceful or not. They need to watch the news and look at all the different arguments.
Need to watch the news. In other words, watch MSNBC and CNN. Not Fox, because Fox is right wing, but watch MSNBC and CNN and learn the propaganda like the rest of the older folks and wine moms do. The wine moms, especially on MSNBC.
Arguments and be adults, or start learning to be adults and set up discussions and debates across college campuses, or their colleges or universities are going to have no choice but to expel them and ruin their future, the impact they want to have on the community, society, and the world at some point. But let's then go to the hard part of this. What is the solution for college, university presidents and deans who want to maintain control but also preserve free speech?
I was just thinking about this now because while this is going on, Mika Brzezinski talking about, oh, they're going to ruin their future. They'll have no choice but to expel these kids from college. And, that would be horrible for their future and for their job searching and for any earning potential they may have. You know what would be an even better protest than doing this right now? And I just thought of this, and I don't know other people thought about this, but it just popped into my head. Leaving school, like literally saying dropping out of college and stop paying those exorbitant tuition fees, especially in those Ivy League schools like Princeton and Brown and not NYU, Columbia and Harvard Harvard, those Ivy League schools, the outrageous tuitions. Drop out. Don't pay them anymore. That would be a lot better protest than this. I mean, what they're doing right now, in my opinion. I mean, is ultimately hitting them in their wallets, and the university cares about tuition fees and stuff like that. So they need students to be coming to the schools. Excuse me. So quite frankly, I think that's the better way to protest. To drop out and then stop paying those ridiculous tuition fees. You think they're protesting for their health? That's how you start conversations, you stupid bitch, Mika. Yeah, that's how you do it. But they don't want to start a conversation. They want to just to control the narrative and to just put these students in under their thumb. So yeah, that's why she said watch corporate media, watch mainstream, watch the media, because that way, we can get you all the information you need, and you'll listen to us and you'll follow us. Let's see. So what's next? Tired. So this is a statement from Columbia, from the university president. So I wanted to read this about message from President that name, Shafiq. Read the complete message. Visit the link to read the complete message. I don't feel like reading the whole thing, so I'll just read this. It's going to take time to heal, but I know we can do that together. I hope that we can use the weeks ahead to restore calm, allow students to complete their academic work, and honor their achievement at commencement. We also must continue with urgency on ongoing dialogue on the important issues that have been raised in recent months, especially the balance between free speech and discrimination, and the role of university in contributing to better outcomes in the Middle East. Both are topics where I hope Colombia can lead the way in new thinking that will make us the epicenter, not just a protest, but a solution to the world's problems. Columbia University in the city of New York. So yeah, just more political double talk and nonsense. So yeah, so that's that. Let's see. There's more to get to because the show can't be over yet. I got a lot more to talk about. Did I just screw up? I did. Just bear with me 1 second while I get back to my bookmarks. I already did that. So yeah, so now I think Heidi, who's a friend of mine, a part of INN, she asked me about Princeton University. So I'm not sure if she's here or not, but what's going on at Princeton? This is what's going on at Princeton right now. Students at Princeton University are going on a hunger strike until the College Board meets their demands for Palestine. Currently, a group of Princeton University students in Princeton, New Jersey, are embarking on a hunger strike until their college fulfills their demands regarding the conflict in Gaza, Palestine war from Israel. The student protesters have declared they will abstain from all food and drinks except for water until the following demands are met: complete immunity from criminal charges, a full cultural boycott of Israel, and divestment from Israel, along with other demands. So let's see what they say here.
The Princeton Gaza Solidarity Encampment announces the initiation of a hunger strike in solidarity with the millions of Palestinians in Gaza suffering under the ongoing siege by the state of Israel.
The Israeli occupation has deliberately blocked access to basic necessities to engineer a dire famine for the 2 million residents of Gaza. Since the announcement on October 9th by the Israeli defense minister prohibiting the entry of food, fuel, and electricity into the Gaza Strip, Israel has systemically obstructed and limited access to vital aid for Palestinians in Gaza, even intentionally destroying existing cropland. On March 18th, the UN Secretary General declared that, quote, "This is the highest number of people facing catastrophic hunger ever recorded by the Integrated Food Security Classification System," unquote. To make bread, Gazans have been forced to use animal feed as flour. To break their fasts in Ramadan, Gazans have been forced to prepare meals of grass. 97% of Gaza's water has been deemed undrinkable since October 2021, and they have been forced to drink dirty salt water to survive.
The consequences of this unprecedented famine, created and maintained by Israel, will devastate Gaza's children for generations to come and cannot be tolerated any longer. We have begun our hunger strike to stand in solidarity with the people of Gaza. We are drawing from the tradition of Palestinian political prisoners going on saltwater-only hunger strikes in Israeli prisons since 1968.
Our hunger strike is a response to the administration's refusal to engage with our demands for dissociation and divestment from Israel. We refuse to be silenced by the university administration's intimidation and repression tactics. We struggle together in solidarity with the people of Palestine. We commit our bodies to their liberation.
We will abstain from all food and drink except water until the following demands are met. Meet with students to discuss their demands for disclosure, divestment, and a full academic and cultural boycott of Israel. Grant complete amnesty from all criminal and disciplinary charges for participants of the peaceful sit-in. Reverse all campus bans and evictions of students. The university and the world must recognize that we refuse to be complicit in genocide and will take every necessary action to change this reality. Our hunger strike though small in comparison to the enduring suffering of the Palestinian people, symbolizes our unwavering commitment to justice and solidarity.
So that's Princeton University. The students are going on hunger strike. Bless them, because quite frankly, I would not be able to do a hunger strike. I mean, I've done a few protests in my life. Back in 20 years ago, I went to plenty of anti-Iraq war protests, but holy crap, a hunger strike? I mean, God bless and good luck, but I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I mean, as you guys can tell, I'm kind of thick, let's say. So I'm sorry. I like my food, and I'm not going to stop eating. But I will, give a platform. This show has become pretty important. Kind of important. I'm not going to arrogantly say I'm pretty important, but yeah, I mean, God bless them, blessed. I mean, hopefully, I'm not sure what ultimately what will come of it, but I'm hoping that Princeton will listen, and we'll see what happens there. I just wanted to, I live like an hour away from Princeton University, so that's why I wanted to, give them that platform and like, look, this is their intention. They're gonna do a hunger strike. So thank you, D, for joining us. My good friend. Make sure you give us a like. Hopefully, you can join us tomorrow for Pro Wrestling Talk if you're here still. Excuse me. So let's see. There's so many bookmarks here, and I can't organize them because I don't have I don't have the check mark. I don't want to pay for it. So my bookmarks all over the place. So this is an interesting. This is from the Columbia Students for Justice in Palestine. So they tweeted this out today. Yesterday. Sorry, yesterday afternoon. The Department of Education has announced that Columbia University is under federal investigation for anti-Palestinian discrimination and harassment. PAL Legal is represented for Palestine Legal is representing 4 Palestinian students, and Columbia SJP, which is this group here, the Columbia Students for Justice in Palestine. The law is clear. If universities do not cease their racist crackdowns against Palestinians and their supporters, they will risk losing their federal funding, says senior Palestinian legal action attorney, this name, which I will butcher, which is why I'm not going to read it. This comes less than 48 hours after Colombian President Shafiq called in the NYPD, which violently arrested and brutalized dozens of students protesters, some with guns drawn, using sledgehammers, batons, and flashbang explosives. Palestinian students at Columbia deserve justice and accountability, not only for Israel's decades-long oppression and violence against our people, but for the racism and discrimination we experience here on Columbia's campus, says Mary chick. Palestinian students have dealt with immense repression and hostile campus environment. A complaint received with a conduct notice for stating her family was bombed in Gaza. So that's the full. Apparently, the Department of Education is investigating Columbia for anti-Palestinian discrimination, and it's an interesting tactic because clearly Columbia has no interest in anything these Palestinian students want. And now they're being investigated and possibly will face some sort of action if they are found to have discriminated against Palestinians on their campus. So holistic radical, thank you for joining. She is so clearly a voice of fascism. I can't say the word right now for some reason. Fascism. There we go. Thank you for joining us. If you haven't, please give me a like. That helps a lot with the stream. So let's see. So let's get rid of that because I don't want to. I have copyrighted stuff in my bookmarks, and I don't want to accidentally show that and give myself a copyright strike because I'm an idiot. So yeah, we already did that. Those kids got arrested. It would be nice if I can organize my bookmarks, but I already complained about that enough. No, that's tomorrow. Not that. I already did that. Ah, so my bookmarks were replaced. This is the White House Correspondents' Dinner, which happened a few days ago. White House correspondent says over 100 journalists have been killed, mostly in Gaza, but does not mention who killed them. Nope. So that's not allowed. Let's make that clear. That's crystal clear. That's not allowed.
Our profession can be perilous. Since October, about 100 journalists have been killed, most of those deaths in Gaza, according to the Committee to Protect Journalists. Around the world, more than 320 reporters imprisoned as of December, including an American with dual Russian citizenship, Alsu Kermayshev, who works for the U.S.-funded Radio Free Europe Radio Liberty. She has been jailed in Russia.
Radio Free Europe, by the way, is a CIA cutout to put out U.S. propaganda throughout Europe. So she's acting like there's some kind of legitimate news organization. Meanwhile, they're funded by the CIA through one of their cutouts. So just lying right there.
In Russia since October. Here at home, there are different challenges, online threats.
Online threats. She's gonna go talk about how the internet is, should be censored, I assume, because there's online threats too against journalists, and blah 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 blah. And also, yeah, Julian Assange, as Kurt says, he's out there too, but of course they're not gonna mention that either. This is all old stuff that I haven't taken out my bookmarks. So yeah, so this is just absolutely gross. I need to turn on my light because now I'm getting way too dark. Let's see. Yeah, I'm getting way too dark. Excuse me. It's almost 8 p.m. on the East Coast. So yeah, I mean, I tried to keep my light off as long as possible, but it needed to be turned on. So yeah, but here's the thing. Here's the issue that I'm having. Because now I'm going to get to liberal hypocrisy here. Or in particularly online liberal hypocrisy, left-wing liberal, the more established channels like the Young Turks and Jank and fucking Crystal Ball and Kyle Kalinske, all these people, they're hypocritical on this. Because these are the same people who demanded their audience to vote for Joe Biden in 2020. These are the same people, damn well knowing that he's a Zionist, and damn well knowing that if there's ever another conflict in Israel, they're going to the administration is fully going to support Israel, and no matter what. And the same thing with John Fetterman. All of these fuckers that I mentioned all supported John Fetterman and demanded their audience in Pennsylvania especially vote for him because he was better than Dr. Oz. So, which was, by the way, a joke of a campaign. Dr. Oz versus John Fetterman. John Fetterman could barely function at that point, and Dr. Oz is Dr. Oz. That was a hilarious campaign. But the Crystal Balls, the Kyle Kalinskis, the Cenk Uygurs, they all demanded their audience to vote for him, even though they damn well knew he was a Zionist. I think it was Kyle Kalinske who said it didn't matter, that John Fetterman was a Zionist because there's no conflict in Israel and we need him in Congress in the Senate. Now he turns around and is like he's melting down nearly every day about this conflict, even though he damn well knew, voting for Democrats, he damn well knew this would happen. And to be fair, it would happen under Trump anyways, but they were all in on sleepy Joe Biden. So let's see, is anything? Yeah, so I'm not sure if you guys have seen this, but Cenk Uygur, Cornel West, um, and two other people. There was a black guy and a white woman, and not a white woman, but she was a woman, that wanted to fight, about rights, like First Amendment rights. She's a First Amendment absolutist, so she was on the show too, but that doesn't matter much. And let's see. Yeah, I noticed that bot. I tend to ignore these bots. So, which he says, I did not vote for Fetterman. I was in his district. Yeah, I mean, you're in Pennsylvania, so you would have the opportunity to vote for Fetterman, which I know you didn't, but I'm just saying, you had the opportunity to vote for him or vote against him in the Senate seat. And he's also, wasn't he lieutenant governor of Pennsylvania? So let's see. So, anyways, yeah, Jank and Dr. West and these people went on. They went on. Why am I forgetting what I'm saying? Piers Morgan's show, and quite frankly, even though I agree with them more than Piers. They Cornell West and Cenk Uygur made asses out of themselves. I mean, all they did was yell and scream the entire time, and hell, they managed to make Piers Morgan look reasonable. How the hell did that happen? That's how ridiculous this segment was. It reminded me of a WWE segment. You might as well put Piers Morgan, Cornell West, and Cenk Uygur in a WWE ring. That's how much they were yelling and screaming at each other. It's ridiculous. This entire segment. Cenk and Cornell made asses out of themselves. They embarrassed, the pro-Palestine position with their ridiculous, over-the-top anger over this. Some anger is understood, quite because you don't want, clearly, these Palestinians. So let's start with this clip because this is really long. I'm not going to play this whole thing, but this is Cornell West beginning the meltdown. Actually, it'd be nice if I shared my screen. Oops. Let's get rid of that. Here we go. Let's go back a little bit. Yeah. For whatever reason, Cornell West loves to get this close to the fucking camera. Like the camera's here and he's like that. I don't know why he does that. It's a habit, but let's watch a little bit of this.
Journalists who have been killed, brother?
Yes, I have done.
You just spread lies.
Well, hang on. Well, Cornell, Cornell, hang on. Cornell.
You're unfair.
Cornell.
And then you start lying. You start lying, man. It's ridiculous.
Cornell,
man.
I'm not lying about anything.
Yeah, I agree, Retro. He is right on Palace. I'm not saying he's wrong. I'm just saying that he made an ass out of himself and kind of embarrassed himself in this segment. And he made Piers Morgan look reasonable. I mean, it's like that's how they managed to do this. I mean, I think it wasn't they didn't do a good job of arguing the pro-Palestine position here.
No, you are. I agree with Cornell West completely. You're totally, utterly lying through your framing. The framing of this is a total...
I don't understand what they're saying. Cornell is talking, Cenk is yelling, they're all yelling, and I don't know what the fuck they're saying, but it's hilarious at the same time.
Okay, look, I can't hear you both saying at the same time. Cornell, just to be clear, I have posted... Sorry, hang on.
Please.
Hang on. I have posted about the journalists who've died in Gaza.
This part was about Cornell's mad because Piers didn't mention all the journalists that died in Gaza. And now he's going to claim that he did, but on Twitter. So that's not good enough for Cenk and Cornell. So Cornell West, so Dr. West. So, yeah, so that's what they're yelling about right now.
Right? I have posted about this. I have highlighted the deaths of those journalists. Right?
Put it in the framework.
Well, I'm going to. I was going to come to you about the framework.
No, you're not. All the vandalism about one hall, and you hardly can say a mumbling word about universities, libraries gone completely, schoolrooms gone completely. You see how truncated and narrow your framework is?
Truncated. I don't know what that word means, but Dr. West is very educated, so...
You're just lying, man. You ought to be ashamed of yourself.
Okay. When you say lying, what you're trying to imply that
he's just lying. Let's see. Piers and the guy on the right was also terrible. Yes. This black guy here was he was claiming that he has video about how the pro-Palestinians were beating up this Israeli guy or the pro-Israel guy, and they show some videos here, but I don't, and I just it was like he wasn't good either. So this whole thing was just a mess.
Don't care about the other stuff you've just mentioned.
That's what I'm saying.
That's not a lie.
That's definitely right.
Well, does not have the same value as an Israeli life. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, let me bring in Cenk. Let me bring in Cenk here. Let me bring in. Okay, let me bring in Cenk. Just to be clear, I haven't lied about anything, right? I haven't
lied about anything. I can't do the British accent, so I wish I could, but I can't.
It's about what's happening in Gaza yet, because we haven't come to that part of the debate. But Cenk, I don't believe you've always seemed to me to be one of the more rational voices in this debate.
Cenk Uygur rational? No, he's not rational. There's a lot of things, but he's not rational. I think the reason why Piers thinks that, Piers Morgan thinks that, is because the first two times Cenk was on, he was on with that rabbi, Shmuley, that crazy rabbi, was yelling and screaming and arguing in bad faith. So that's why he thinks that Cenk is more reasonable, which compared to Shmuley, Cenk is more reasonable. But he's not reasonable. I mean, he's going to melt down here throughout this segment, him and Cornel West. It gets worse.
Prepared to accept what Hamas did was horrendous and so on. I don't believe that you think it's right that Jewish students should be intimidated and harassed on a campus.
You come right back to the thing again.
Can I just answer this for
We are
God's
debating
sake?
the protests, okay?
Come on, brother. Come on, man.
I don't think it's right. They should be subjected to intimidation.
Okay, Piers.
Nobody thinks it's right.
All right, so let's flip ahead a little bit. Here we go. Yeah, because this is really long. So
the innocent Israeli civilians, I call them out, and I say that is terrible. But when Israel slaughters 25,000 women and children, we're saying, oh, I don't like a pro-Palestinian chant. A chant?
Again, he's not wrong, but he's making an ass out of himself. And Piers Morgan looks kind of reasonable here, even though Piers has a really unreasonable position. At least Cornel doesn't call him brother. Yeah, he always calls everybody brother. Like, like come on, Cornel West. They're not your brothers, these people.
That's what we're concerned about. And now you turn to the violence that has happened on college
That's exactly what I said. This is like a WWE segment. It's like you take Cornel West, Piers Morgan, and Cenk Uygur and put them on the ring. This is exactly what it's like. I mean, it's hilarious, but at the same time, they make asses out of. They all make asses out of themselves. This is just a hilarious segment. I tongue-tied myself again.
Campuses, there is one case of overwhelming violence, and that happened last night at UCLA. And it was pro-Israeli protesters that violently attacked the peace protesters that didn't do anything. They attacked an old lady and said, oh, yeah, good luck trying to defend yourself, old lady. These are vicious, vigilant.
I don't know if that happened or not. I mean, Cenk alleges that these pro-Israelis were beating up this old lady. It's like, good luck defending yourselves, old lady. I don't know where that happened or not. I've not seen any evidence that actually did happen, but if knowing Cenk is probably either great exaggeration or a lie, but that I haven't seen any evidence that actually happened.
Vigilante thugs, and they have done more violence than all of the peace protesters in the country combined. Where are the arrests? Where's the outrage? Where's the indignation? You pretend that you care about protecting students, but you only care about protecting one side, whereas the other side is assaulted.
No, I don't actually. Debased
and humiliated.
Okay, let me respond.
And all you want to do is cancel their speech. You're part of cancel culture, and admit it right now.
Can I
You're
respond?
talking about protesting people.
You're a part of cancel culture. You need to admit it. It's like, I don't know what he's referring to there. Apparently, he's being canceled. I don't understand that. This clip reminded me when old Janky, at least when he's decent. Yeah, I mean, this is, on Palestine and on this stuff, he's good. But again, he's making an ass out of himself. He could make these exact same points without yelling and screaming. And the same thing with Cornel West. So it's like, I just don't like how they're coming across here. They're coming across as kind of crazy. And if the average person who watches Piers Morgan's show is going to cut like, these people are crazy. Like these pro-Palestinian people.
Can I respond?
Americans!
Can I respond?
Americans!
By the way...
Okay, this is not the United States of Israel.
Fine.
America...
all right, you made your point.
You see that part? Oh, let me replay it.
Okay, this is not the United States of Israel.
Fine.
America...
all right, you made your point.
He says America... I think what he was going to say is America first. But the issue is that's like something a Trump supporter would say, which is why he kind of blah. So I think Cenk just looks like an ass. Yeah, I mean, he looks like an ass. Oops. Not that. Yeah, tip us, use Ko-fi to tip INN. That's, if you're able to. But yeah, Cenk looks like an ass. The guy on the left of Cenk, he didn't talk at all. No, he barely did because they were all yelling. Cenk and Cornel West and Piers were all yelling at each other.
To protest a foreign government.
Foreign government.
Just to be clear.
You've lost the right wing.
Just
you've
to be
lost
clear.
the left wing. You've lost America. America's not going to stand here and let Israel
You can keep
dictate
shouting or we can
who's
have a
allowed to
debate.
speak and who's going to be arrested.
All right.
You can keep shouting or we can actually debate. I mean, that's like, yeah, he's just stop, Cenk. We get it. You're right, but
you can keep
I
shouting.
gave you 20 minutes to do propaganda,
Okay,
Piers. Go ahead now.
It's not propaganda. I have many views about all of this. We're talking specifically about the protests at Columbia, which I think you crossed a line. By the way, you talk about cancel culture. I'm entitled to my view without you and Dr. West screaming liar, genocide supporter, and all this other bullshit.
Okay, do you condemn the UCLA pro-Israel thugs?
Do you condemn those Israeli thugs? I mean, just
let me make it clear.
You condemn them. I'm doing the same thing you are.
Wait a minute.
Do you condemn them?
Wait a minute.
Or are you pro-violence?
Can I answer the question? If this was Jewish students that were breaking into this building violently...
No, you don't have to go with a hypothetical.
No, sorry, I am going to go with the hypothetical because you're trying to make out that somehow I'm only doing this because I'm pro-Israel's government. I'm not pro-Israel's government. What I am pro...
Yes, Witchy. She's a Fox News contributor and she's on Gutsfeld's show a lot. I mean, I've seen her a few times. So Cenk is doing Piers. Yeah, I mean, Cenk is dominating Piers, even though he's making an ass out of himself. But yeah, he basically took over Piers' show. I mean, it's like, doesn't Piers Morgan have a mute button? I mean, did he? I don't know because he should have told one of the producers to mute Cenk and take control of the show, but he never did.
Pro is the safety of Jewish students being protected because they are not responsible for the actions of an Israel government thousands of miles away. They're entitled, having paid $400,000 for their education.
But you say no, you don't want to protect the peace protesters.
I don't think mob rules should be allowed to go on. So when you talk about this is a private university campus, they are entitled to not have their buildings desecrated in this manner, and they are entitled eventually to have the police remove them.
Be honest. When they were doing it in a public space, everybody in media, in American media, said, "How dare they do it in a public space?" They do it in a private place. You go, "How dare they do it in a private place?"
You shouldn't be breaking into buildings full stop.
You know what? When Martin Luther King in Selma, Alabama, crossed the Edmund Pettus Bridge.
Yeah, I don't know what the civil rights movement have to do with this. I mean, Cornel West and Cenk kept bringing it up, but again, I don't. Unless I'm missing something, I don't know what the hell does the civil rights movement have to do with what's going on in these school protests right now? Do you condemn Hamas? This reminds me of the time Alex Jones. Yes, thank you. Thank you, Grape. I was just gonna say this. This is exactly the time when Alex Jones went on Piers Morgan's show at CNN. When he was at CNN, like in 2010, it's right after one of the mass shootings, and Alex Jones went on Piers Morgan. This is before he got canceled, and Alex Jones has yelled and screamed at Piers Morgan like 2 segments, and Piers was like, "Yeah, okay." Eventually, Alex Jones got kicked out, but this is exactly what it reminds me of. Thank you for reminding me of that. But I was going to mention that. All right, so this is the part where Cornel West calls Piers Morgan a racist. So I advanced a little bit. I don't want to play this whole thing.
Your Twitter, rather than make that part of the framing of the issue, then in fact you become an extension of propaganda. And that's why I call you a racist, because it means then that
how dare you? Honestly, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but how dare you?
I'm sorry, Dr. West. You would not frame it in that way.
I'm sorry, but you how dare you call me a racist?
Don't
What you don't
That's
know
right.
is, before I did this debate, I did a long interview with one of the IDF spokesmen in which I went after him about their planned invasion of Rafah because I think it would be a catastrophic mistake. So don't call me a
Biden believes
racist.
that
And don't
too.
assume
Biden
you
believes that too.
don't
You think
assume.
Biden believes that Palestinian life has the same value as Israeli life?
Yes, I do.
Absolutely not. They
Yes,
have
I
a
do.
more fiber in his bone when it comes to Palestinian
I
predicament.
absolutely
You think
believe
that's an answer
Palestinian.
to me?
I believe Palestinian lives matter just as much as any other lives, and I've always said that. Always.
It's not manifesting your framing, brother. It's
Right.
not
But
manifesting your
don't
framing.
just use
It's an
the word.
abstract.
Don't throw around the word racist without any evidence to support
I don't.
the fact that I'm a
I wait
racist.
until I hear a lot of evidence, and I've been hearing the evidence, and I throw it around. It's not throwing around. It's a reality.
Me saying it is
I
wrong.
want to address Mikhail Johnson. Thank you for joining us. I mean, I appreciate it. I would say that this has to do with the civil rights era that happening now is potential echo of history. Okay. I mean, these protests could be the beginning of a historical shift. So that kind of, I could see that point. If you haven't, please, if you joined us just now, I appreciate it. Please give me a like and please subscribe. I mean, I'm not a whore for likes, but it does help with the algorithm, which is why I keep asking for likes. Pure self-justifying bullshit is just pathetic. Yeah, I mean, none of them look well here. I mean, this segment was kind of just a shit show from beginning to end.
It's wrong that Jewish students are being harassed is not racism because I'm not also talking about universities being flattened in Gaza. I think the flattening of universities in Gaza
totally
is awful.
disingenuous.
All right, Cenk, I'll bring you in.
No.
Please.
Okay. Look, Piers, you keep going back to the most obvious question in the world. Should Jewish students be protected from harassment or assault?
Yes.
Obviously.
So you
hold on.
both agree with me?
No,
So
no,
what
you
does that
both
mean?
agree.
You're
Let me
racist.
finish. Let me finish. Let me finish. So that's the most obvious point in the world. And I already told you that I have Jewish family. I have a nephew who wears a Star of David on a college campus. I will go and help the people that are escorting them.
Hey, I mean, I would drink a bottle of whiskey by myself. I mean, shit. I mean, it's like, yeah, I mean, the black guy, he says nothing. I skipped the segment when they show his video because doesn't show much evidence. He complains about how they have a gender neutral bucket for them to piss and shit in, and it stinked. That's basically all his point was, and it was ridiculous. So he didn't do well either in this. So the segment was a shit show.
them to their classes, etc. That is not an issue. But what you just did was you spent now 20 to 30 minutes framing it like that is the biggest issue and everyone is saying, oh no, we should attack the Jewish students, when no one is saying that. In reality, hold on, in reality, vigilante thugs last night attacked the peace protesters at UCLA who had done nothing wrong. It was a violent attack. They beat them with sticks, they pepper sprayed them, and yet I asked you a simple question. You've got now 20 to 30 minutes of propaganda saying, oh, the Palestinian protesters, the peace protesters, they hate the Jews, they're anti-Semites, all the Jews are in danger, etc. And I'm saying, of course, let's protect them. And then you make it seem like that's the 98% of the issue.
Well, this is about the UCLA attack. I mean, I seen the video and they were clearly attacked. That one guy was clearly attacked, but I don't know whose side is which. Like did the 4 people who attacked this one guy? I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't have enough evidence to say yes. This is definitely pro-Israelis attacking this one pro-Palestinian guy. I don't know. I don't know. It's questionable. I would like to see more evidence before I say that I agree with Cenk there. Because I did see that video, but I couldn't tell whose side was who. Because there's no obvious, clothes. It's like, oh well, if he's wearing the turban or whatever that was, then he's pro-Palestinian. If he's not, then they're clearly pro-Zionist Israel. So I don't know. But let me play. I'm going to skip ahead a little bit here. I'm going to play a little bit of this. See.
When in reality, the only protesters that have been massively violent are the pro-Israel protesters. And to this second, not only did you mention it for
That's
about
not
2.5 seconds
I even
out of
have
20
a video
minutes,
on my
but
Twitter
you still haven't condemned them. So do you condemn them, Piers? The violent...
The black guy claims he has a video with pro-Palestinians tasing the pro-Zionist part. Look, I didn't see that video, so I don't know whether that video is real, but he claims he has a video, and he kind of tries to very meekly, jump into the conversation, into the yelling match between Cenk and Piers.
Thugs.
I deliberately
pro-Israel
held off writing or commenting about what was going on in Colombia for quite a few days, and I will do the same about what happened at UCLA until I've actually established well, hang on. Sorry, it happened overnight, and I will wait and see the facts, and when I get the facts, I will pass judgment without.
Well, that's kind of what I would do. I did here because I don't know. I seen the video, I seen the video, like I said, but I don't know which side is which. It was kind of chaotic. Clearly that one guy got his ass kicked by these 4 people, but I don't know who they are or why they were there. So let me move ahead a little bit. Move ahead here. Yeah, here we go. Oops.
Just to be clear,
hold on, Piers. Let me give you a little bit of credit.
Okay.
You are open to the Palestinian position 20% of the time.
Just to be clear.
That's why I come back on this show.
Just to be clear.
But the American media is filled with racist against Muslims.
Racist.
American politicians are racist
They're
against
all
Muslims.
racist.
And they revel in it. Blood, rivers of blood in Gaza.
This is the part where Cenk cries racism towards the end here. Against Muslims.
And the American politicians and the American media say, not enough, kill them more,
Not
Israel,
enough.
kill them more.
Yeah, just
and
to
then
be clear.
who objects to the wide slaughter of those people is called an anti-Semite.
Just to be clear.
The American media is sick.
Just to be clear, you were all booked to take part in a debate specifically about the protests at Colombia. So when you're asking, why am I focusing on the protests at Colombia, that is why you were all booked for this segment and debate. So don't try and be disingenuous with viewers and make out that you were booked for any wider purpose, because you weren't. I wanted to debate all the issues around what's going on in Colombia. And what is interesting to me...
This is where the shit show really starts. I mean, they're just yelling and screaming at each other here.
Talk about Colombia.
Let me finish.
Let's talk about Colombia.
Let me finish.
Those peace protesters are the same ones that...
I'm sorry, you don't
I can't understand what they're saying, but it's really entertaining at the same time.
On my show, I'm sorry.
It's like the 2 dogs fucking on the side of the road principle, where you have to rubberneck and look. Yeah, it's so ridiculous, but this is what this is like.
Propagandize against people like you.
Yeah, I'm not a propagandist. I'm not a racist or any of these things, right?
War is always great. Peace is always the bad guys.
Yeah.
It's absurd.
It is absurd.
Insanity.
I agree with you about it being absurd.
Piers, do you get that we are vomiting your propaganda? We can't stand it anymore.
Yeah.
It isn't just about you. It's all of media.
This is the part that really reminds me of the Alex Jones interview, where Alex Jones is yelling and screaming what sounds like nonsense, and Piers is like, yeah, okay, yeah. That's what this part really reminds me of that interview. Let me go back a little bit.
War is always great. Peace is always the bad guys.
Yeah.
It's absurd.
It is absurd.
Insanity.
Yeah. I agree with you about it being absurd.
Piers, do you get that we are vomiting your propaganda? We can't stand it anymore.
Yeah.
It isn't just about you. It's all of media, all of the politicians with their nonstop propaganda that the people in favor of peace, the people who want to protect innocent lives.
Look at how much Cenk is sweating.
Or somehow...
Look how much he's sweating there. It's like he's about to have a heart attack. Like now at his old age, yelling and screaming like this is not helping his health. I mean, his blood pressure must be through the roof right now. And look at him. He's just sweating his ass off there. Well, everybody...
How pro-terrorists are the bad guys, are the anti-Semites, are the racists, etc. We're sick of the overwhelming propaganda.
Yeah, I'm pretty sick of being called a racist by you guys, so we've all got across the bed. Let me bring...
I asked you whether the IDF were terrorists. Are the IDF a terrorist organization killing innocent children?
Yes. Great. That's a good... Piers is definitely milking this pro-Palestine, this Palestine-Israeli protest thing, because nearly every day on the show, he always has guests, to have these screaming matches on his show, like Jerry Springer style or WWE style. So he's definitely, milking this and trying to get ratings on his show and views on his YouTube channel to make money. So it's obvious what he's doing. But at the same time, though, why is Cornel West so close to the camera? No offense, but he's scary looking there in that still shot there. I just looked up and noticed that. But But yeah, I mean, it's what was I saying? Cornell West scared me, so I kind of forgot what I was saying. Uh, yeah, I mean, Pierce is milking this for sure. I mean, he's looking to pocket as much money. He's had guests nearly every day, in order to fight with each other. Crystal Ball went on one day. Let's see who else. Abby Martin did the show, which, by the way, Abby Martin was the best. It's the best of all the pro-Palestinian guests they've had on. Cenk Uygur and Cornel West made asses out of themselves. This was not well done by them at all. Abby Martin did a good job. She calmly destroyed, the pro-Israel side on her show, when she was on the show, rather. Jesus, why is Cornell so close? I can't get over how close he is to the camera, how scary he looks. I know I'm the bad guy for saying that, but holy shit. Let's keep going.
Yes or no?
Oh, I do not believe
Answer
they're
the
a
question,
terrorist
Pierce.
organization, no.
Oh, come on!
Wait. This is important. Cornel West asked Piers Morgan whether he thinks the IDF were terrorists or not. So I want to,
etc. We're sick of the overwhelming propaganda.
Yeah, I'm pretty
against
sick
these
of being
poor
called a
people.
racist by you guys, so we've all got to cross.
Oh yes, Bassem Youssef was definitely did a good job. Thank you, Natalie, for reminding me.
To bear. Let me bring.
Show, I asked you whether the IDF were terrorists. Are the IDF a terrorist organization killing innocent children? Yes or no?
Oh, I do not believe they're a terrorist organization, no.
Oh, come on! Of course they're terrorists.
They're at war. There's a big difference
Of
between
course
being
they're
at war
goddamn
and being a terrorist.
No, you may think they are, Cornell, and you may think they are, Cenk. You've asked me a question. I do not think they are. Okay?
Based on what?
That's exactly right, Holistic. I mean, this is what I said at the beginning. It makes it worse that they're not saying anything I disagree with, but the emotional tone will have an effect to discredit our side. That's exactly what I said. They made asses out of themselves. I said it in a much more, vulgar way, but they made asses out of themselves. They embarrassed the pro-Palestinian side. Let's see. You're not a bad person, Angel. We love you. Thank you. I mean, but I was being more like that was kind of sarcasm, but yeah, I mean, I appreciate that. So did the black guy say, what does a terrorist mean? I mean,
being at war and being a terrorist.
No, you may think they are, Cornell, and you may think they are, Cenk. You've asked me a question. I do not think they are. Okay?
Based on what?
Do I think the IDF? Do I think the IDF has very serious questions?
The black guy says almost nothing, and he's being meek when he says something, like really low voice. So I couldn't tell what he actually said, but Cornell and Jake. Blah, 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 blah. Meanwhile, he's just sitting there like, can I talk now? Even though he doesn't say much of substance, but I'm just that's really what it looks like.
Questions to answer about the way they are executing this war? Absolutely. Do we have international criminal courts? People? Do we have criminal courts and laws and rules to hold them to account? Absolutely. And do I want them to be held to account? Damn right I do. Yeah. And do I think they should be invading Rafah? No, I do not.
Don't mean that much to you, man.
It does mean as much to me. Let me bring in Javier again.
No, they don't mean that much.
Javier, this debate has got very unpleasant.
You're just talking. You say nothing.
For reasons that are slightly lost on me, given what the debate was supposed to be. Cornell, let Javier speak. Okay?
His name is
Javier.
Javier, as Pierce called him. That's his name. People were wondering, but
Javier's been very patient.
Javier, you were there last night, and it's been pictured by Cenk as it was simply a bunch of very violent pro-Israel protesters attacking completely innocent pro-Palestinian protesters. What was your experience there? What did you see?
I mean, that's not what happened there, and it's not what's happened at any of these universities. I don't know why he's trying to portray it as if the pro-Palestinians are there peacefully. I also have a video on my Twitter of a pro-Palestinian chasing after a Jewish man trying to tase him because she didn't like what was on his sign. I also saw a man go and spit on a woman's dog simply because she was on the Zionist side.
And this is all hearsay because he has no video of that. And I didn't see the one with the taser, so I can't, render an opinion on that. But yeah, he doesn't say much of substance. So let's go here where Cenk kind of yells at him a little bit. We're almost done with this, so let's go back here. Here we go.
Videos online of the pro-Israel side clearly attacking the pro-Palestinian side with sticks and fireworks and pepper spray. Are you going to sit here and lie on television and say to everyone that that didn't happen? Because go ahead, you lose all credibility. Go ahead, liar.
They were fighting back. They were fighting back, and don't call me a liar. I'm not here to sit here and name call and be childish like you at your big age. But
oh yeah, you just called them
the pro-Palestinian side. There was a woman who was put in the hospital because she was hit in the head.
Innocent all of a sudden. Yeah, you just
they were being dirty. You don't sit there and poop in a gender-neutral bucket and sit there and act like you're
sweating his ass off. Yeah, I mean it's like he's about to have a heart attack or something. And I can't understand what they're saying because they're yelling over each other. Jank's yelling over him again.
There was a woman who was put in the hospital because she was hit in the head.
Innocent all of a sudden.
Mr. Innocent.
They were being dirty. You don't sit there and poop in a gender-neutral bucket and sit there and act like you're not
complaining about the gender-neutral bucket. You know, they shit and pissed in. I'm sure it stinked. I mean, I wouldn't want to be there, but at the same time, it's like, who cares about that? That's not even that important. He's just, again, gender-neutral. I'm pretty sure this is SJW shit he has a problem with. And I have my issues with it too, but that's not a reason why to hate the protesters, I think. Eddie Murphy's kid. Oh, my God. I just saw it. Eddie Murphy's kid. I didn't even realize, Kurt Boss says Eddie Murphy's kid. Ah, shit. I was like, I didn't see it until he mentioned it. It's like, he kind of looks like Eddie Murphy.
Dirty. I call the health department.
You hate Muslims.
Filthy. The way that they're behaving is filthy. I don't hate Muslims, but I do hate Muslim extremism. I have a lot of fundamental issues with the Muslim extremism that's going on in the world. If the only way that you can get your point across is going and raping and beheading people, then you're probably a terrorist and you're probably an extremist. I do have an issue with that. I do have an issue with the fact that you show an ankle and you're killed in some of these nations. Oh, no, I'm racist. I'm not racist. I don't have any issue with Muslims in general. I didn't say. Did I not just say?
Wait. Did he? What did Jenk said there? I didn't notice that.
I'm not racist. I don't have any issue with Muslims in general. I didn't say.
Did he just say stop being racist against me? Jenk, you're not a Muslim. I mean, you're an atheist, right? Last time he's an atheist. Excuse me. So why in the world is he saying stop being racist against me? It's like, and like he's saying stop being racist against Muslims. That's different, but he's saying stop being racist about me, even though last time I checked he was an atheist. That's a small thing, but I just noticed that.
Did I not just say extremist? I just said extremist, but you chose to hear what you wanted to hear. It is putting shit into a bucket. I wasn't even just talking about the Muslims. I was talking about in the encampment.
You smeared all Muslims.
Is disgusting. They're all sitting there with unwashed behinds, protesting and screaming out for the bloodshed of Jews and Christians worldwide. So yeah, I have a problem with that. I have a fundamental issue with that. Is that such a big deal?
Nonsense.
Nonsense. Propaganda.
What did I lie about? Where was the lie? Where was the lie?
Who's paying you, Javier?
Who's paying you? Who's paying you?
The pro-Palestinian side started the aggression. They started the violence when they went and they attacked that Jewish girl who went to the hospital that night, and then things began to escalate.
Don't know what you're talking about.
I can't understand what the black guy's saying because the Jank and Cornell start yelling over him again, and he doesn't raise his voice. He's like, "Well, I mean, I saw this, and I have this tape allegedly that shows this people, tasing pro-Israel people and." And I dislike the gender neutral thing in that bathroom because I'm anti SJW and bleh. That's all he had, It wasn't really that impressive. Like nobody's that impressive. And Jank is definitely being paid by Katzenberg. So it's ironic. Jank's like, who's paying you, Javier? Who's paying you? Who's paying you? Who's paying you, Jank? I mean, you took $20 million from Katzenberg, and then you have the nerve to goddamn, talk about this. So let's get to a little bit here. I think this is white supremacy or something.
Brother, you don't think white supremacy has anything to do with what's going on?
Cornell's face is really close and halfway. Again, that's really small. It's not that important, but I'm just really annoyed when he's gets really close to the camera. And now it's half his face, you see. So it's just weird.
In Gaza at all?
How am I ignorant? I've been black for 27 years, and I have never been inferior to a white person. what is the
Oh,
white supremacy that is affecting your life? I would like to hear it.
Nobody in your family has
I would
ever
like to
been
hear it. What can't
mistreated.
I do that a
Nobody
white person
in your
can
family
do?
has ever been mistreated, right? You one of the few black people never been mistreated. Okay, all right. I see.
Saying that I've never been mistreated. Every demographic has been mistreated. White people get mistreated all the time.
I'm talking
Every
about because
demographic is
of
getting
who you are.
mistreated. There is
You think
prejudice from
white
every single
supremacy has
demographic. So I don't understand what you think that is so unique to black people for.
All right,
brother.
You know what? I've got to bring this. I've got to bring this debate to an end. It was supposed to be specifically about the protests.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised, Mikhail, if there's crucial context missing either, because he's like he's like putting his hat on that video, even though we don't see the video here on the show. And I looked through his Twitter, or at least what I think is his Twitter. I didn't see it there either, so because I can't tell what the hell's going on. You know, I never got his last name, so wonder. This is the beginning. Let me go back and see if we get his name. I assume we do. Oops.
In Colombia and joined some of the student protests. The Fox News contributor Kat Tim, former BLM supporter Javier DeRusso.
Javier DeRusso, a former BLM supporter. That's what he calls himself. So that's his name, Javier DeRusso. Let me see if I can find him on Twitter, because I want to see this video before, because Javier. Let's see if I can spell it. Not Javier Milei. I mean, I'm not sure if I'm spelling it right or not. Nope, obviously I didn't spell it right. What did he say?
Student protests. The Fox News contributor Kat Tim, former BLM supporter Javier DeRusso of PragerU.
Javier DeRusso.
PragerU, who broke into a pro-Palestinian encampment.
Wait, did he say he's a part of PragerU? So he works for Dennis Prager. No wonder why he's, pro-Israeli. But I can't spell his name right. See, DeRusso. Oops. No. Yeah, I can't spell the fucker's name. But yeah, I mean, this is. Oh, that's how you spell it? Oh, thank you. Apparently that's. Hold on. Let me see now if I can find it. Because I'm curious to see. All right. Oops. Jesus. Again, if I go on the. OU. Yeah, I can't find it. So I'm not going to. I should have probably searched this before, but I didn't. But yeah, I mean that segment that's pretty much it, because I'm not going to go around and the Russophobe. Holistic. West has been doing the up close camera thing as long as I can remember. Reminds me that JB does that occasionally for emphasis. And it's great, not a clown. No, I mean, I'm not saying that it just it looks silly at times, especially when he does it like he does it all the time. It's not just like JB does it for emphasis. I mean, he only Cornell does it all the time. Hold on, let me see if I can find it on my phone. Maybe easier to type out here. XA. XAVI. Oops. Finally found him. Uncle Tom's favorite nephew, PragerU personality, serious inquiries only. He has his email address there. So that's what his Twitter thing is. Hold on. I traveled to Israel for 100 days, blah, blah, blah. It's still a gender-neutral poop buckets for me. I reported UCLA to the Board of Health. Watch my appearance on Dr. Phil here, blah, blah, blah. The far left and right emerge against the Jews. Dear white people. Did Cenk Uygur even prepare for this debate? He sounds like the comment section every time I post anything political. Who's paying you? Yeah, that's a clip from the show I just showed. Yeah, I don't see this video. You know what? I'm going to show you. Hold on a second. I'll show you guys what I'm reading because I'm just reading it to myself here. Before I'm probably going to wrap up soon anyways, but all right. So to share this screen. Yeah, this is his Twitter. I don't see that video he's referring to. Uncle Tom's favorite nephew, PragerU personality, serious inquiries only. This is his email address. So, yeah, he went to Israel, whatever, make Gaza Jewish again. So obviously, he's pro Gaza. There he is with Dr. Phil. Another look at UCLA's musty terrorist solidarity encampment this week. So apparently it did stink, but here's some videos, but I don't know whether he doesn't specify which video it is that he has that that woman got tasered or whatever. So yeah, I'm not gonna look much more through this because I don't want to. I sent the link. I think YouTube censored it. Well, I mean, YouTube censors everything, so it's not really that much of a surprise to me. No, I don't want to follow him. No interest. Just wanted to show you guys his Twitter because I don't see what he's referring to. And he doesn't label it either because if it's that big of a deal, I'm sure he would label it. Like he would label it. Not only would he label it, but he would like send it out and tweet it out every 10 seconds, talking about how horrible the Jews are or the pro-Palestinians are. So where is this? So I'm just gonna use some funny stuff before we wrap up. Here's Mark Hamill. He's joined. Let me get rid of that. She joined the White House briefing meeting today as a celebrity guest appearance because nothing's important what's going on anyways. Nope, it's not important. Nothing important's going on. So Karine Jean-Pierre instead she's going to play games here and have a celebrity who lasted relevant movies in the 1970s when he did Star Wars, when he played Anakin Skywalker. But other than that, yeah, let's see her, fangirl over Mark Hamill.
There's no introduction that really is needed here. I have a special guest, as you can see. Mark Hamill has decided to join us on this wonderful Friday, and I am really excited to turn it over to Mr. Hamill. Here we go.
Okay.
Yeah.
How many of you had Mark Hamill will lead the press briefing on your bingo card? Hands?
There's no
So the media also they fucking fanboy and fangirl over Mark Hamill too, even though he's not been relevant since the 1970s. He's still living off his Star Wars success. Let's see. I did that already. Where's the other thing? Where is it? No, not that. Definitely not that. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention this. So I'm not sure if you guys seen the clip of Drew Barrymore's show. She went Kamala Harris went on her show and Drew Barrymore was absolutely ridiculous. Like for some reason she gets really close in Kamala's face and she just absolutely like was ridiculous. So oh, you did tag. Hold on a second. Okay, let me see if I see it. Oh, well, it is here. Thank you. There it is. Jewish man attacked and tased in front of UCLA anti-Israel encampment. So thank you very much, Fred, for tagging me. Is this copied on? There's music here. Let me mute it. I don't want to risk copyright strike. Let's see. So yeah, they're kind of fighting here. I don't know why he put music on that. Yeah, I can't see anything in this video. Alright, so it looks like it's kind of a fight here between these two people. I don't see a taser at all. Like, I don't know why he didn't get closer to this. I mean... Yeah, there's fucking music there. I can't see where the taser comes in. Did you guys see it? Is it screaming taser but no tasing? Yeah, I didn't see anything here. Okay, let me play a couple seconds of this.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! Taser!
Oh yeah, I hear it now. I hear it.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! Taser!
So yeah, you hear that taser sound at the end, but nobody actually got tasered. Clearly, I mean, by the time this dude in the blue started running, that's when the taser popped out.
Oh my god!
Right there, see? He's gone. Like, he's nowhere near there. But that's a taser sign. So of course, as the chat suspected, Jewish man attacked and tasered in front of UCLA anti-Israel encampment. That actually wasn't true. I mean, I heard it too once I put on the sound, but that wasn't true. What happened was they pulled out the taser after he ran off and kind of started doing that to, scare him off even more. So no, I mean, this is of course just ridiculous and not really true, but let me play the before we wrap up. Let me play the let me go to something funny. Drew Barrymore on her show, making herself look ridiculous, but I'm not sure what her issue is. I mean, it's like I've seen other clips of her doing this where she gets up really close to her guests. She constantly does this. Look how close she is there. All right, so let's. Oops, hold on.
I keep thinking in my head that we all need a mom. I've been thinking that we really all need a tremendous.
No, we all need a mom. I don't need a fucking mom. I have a mom. It's like, what are you talking about? I don't need a politician to be my mom. It's completely ridiculous.
Hug in the world right now.
Yeah.
But in our country, we need you to be Mamala of the country.
Oh no. Oh, that's so cringe. Who wrote that for her? One of the writers had to have written that for her. Does she still have writers? I mean, who wrote that shit? There's no way that she came up with that on her own. It's like, oh, we need you to be Mamala.
We need you to be Mamala of the country.
Oh no. Oh, and this audience claps for that. I mean, that's so cringe. I mean, I would like, oh, I wouldn't clap. I'm like, oh, what the fuck was that? Look at her. She's like, I need a mom. We need a mom, please. I mean, did Drew Barrymore have mother issues? I don't know, but she's always getting like really touchy-feely with her guests, and she gets right up in their face. Like, it's like a weird thing she does. Because I've seen other clips of her show when she does that.
And as a woman who respects so much and wants to share and wants to be confident and has no ounce of me that has competitiveness.
Yeah.
When we lift each other up, we all rise.
That's exactly right.
Even Kamala is like, God, this is so awkward. Why am I here? It's like, why am I on this bitch's show?
I like the barbecue sauce.
Now this is Kamala kind of having her Hillary Clinton barbecue hot sauce moment. This is her Hillary Clinton barbecue sauce moment here, or
I
hot
like the
sauce
barbecue
moment.
sauce mostly.
Yeah.
That's my favorite dipping sauce.
Yeah.
Especially for the chicken McNugget. My best friend, who was like a sister to me, called me up and she's like, I need you to go out with this guy.
She's referring to her current husband there, which is other clips, but I think you guys, it's cringe. This entire appearance is just cringe. It's straight up cringe. Let's see. I need a leader to help pull me out of poverty, but Drew has so much money. There's nothing she needs from the government, and yeah, and that's true for most these liberal Democrats. Unresolved childhood trauma, arrested development, and no boundaries. That's true in a nutshell. I'm glad she gave us Donnie Darko. It's a good movie, actually. But yeah, I mean, obviously
Sauce
she has
mostly.
some.
Yeah,
Oops.
that's my favorite
I
dipping
didn't
sauce.
need-
Especially
I
for
don't know
the
why that played.
I like the barbecue
I didn't ask him to play that again.
chicken McNugget. My best friend, who was like a sister.
Get rid of that because it keeps playing for some reason. But yeah, I mean, she obviously has some sort of fucking issue with, touchy feely. And I've seen other clips where she gets on her knees for some reason and praises what's her face, the trans woman, Dylan Mulvaney. That's who that is. She got her on her knees and thanked her for everything, and they both hugged for no apparent reason. It was weird. Another weird segment on her show. And there were other ones where she had her Charlie Angels co-stars in the show, and she started, this is during COVID, so they were all like 6 feet apart. So there was nothing creepy on that show, but Drew Barrymore still acted kind of weird throughout the show. So yeah, I don't know what the hell's wrong with her. And then this bitch also decided to nearly cross the picket line when the writers were on strike. She wanted to do her show, even though she wasn't supposed to because of the writer's strike. So I don't know what's going on with her, whether she's on drugs or she needs to be on drugs. I don't know, but it's something weird, that she get on her knees and blew her. Well, I mean, I don't know about that. I didn't see that, but I remember Drew when she was in Firestarter. Yeah, I'm old. I the first movie I remember her. I'm sure she does movie I've seen. I don't remember her, but the first one, really, Charlie's Angels, the original, the trilogy from like the 2000s. So yeah, the way she was blinking her hands gave away how uncomfortable she was feeling. I mean, yeah, I mean, I don't know what's going on with Drew, but it's just like clearly she has some issues. So yeah, E.T. Yeah, I mean, let's see if there's anything else I want to talk about because it is almost 9 and I need to get off of here soon. If not, then I'll just wrap up now and thank everybody for coming on or joining me because this was a really fun show today. And I appreciate everybody in the chat that joined me and hanged out with me for this couple of hours. Is there anything else? I don't think so. I mean, unless there's something I forgot about. But I don't think so. I mean, wait. So that's pretty much it. I mean, I don't really have much else to talk about. Yeah, she's a huckster. She's whatever. She's a scab because she tried to cross the picket line. Whatever you want to call her, I'm fine with that. So that'll do it for this episode of Angel in the Afternoon. Hope everybody enjoyed. Please give me a like. Please subscribe if you haven't already. And I'm going to see you guys tomorrow night for pro wrestling talk if you're a wrestling fan. If not, I mean, hope you give me a like anyways because it helps with the algorithm and support INN, support the show. But yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow at 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific. Yeah, 5 Pacific. I don't know why I said that. It doesn't really matter. But we'll see you tomorrow night for Pro Wrestling Talk. And then on Sunday, I'll be busy this weekend because I got to do another show with Miss Witchy Perfect and my friends Kit Cabello of Heartlands Media. That should be, it's not going to be live on Sunday. It'll be uploaded on her channel probably Monday. So, yeah, so I'm having a busy weekend, doing videos and the shows. So I'll see you guys tomorrow night for Pro Wrestling Talk with hopefully Greg and D and the crew. We'll see who's able to come on, who's not. I got to watch the pay-per-view Backlash tomorrow afternoon at 1:00. We'll talk about it briefly, obviously, but it's a B-level pay-per-view. I don't really care about it, so I do have to watch it, but mostly we don't spend too much time on that because it's a B-level pay-per-view with 5 matches. So it's not like it's a big deal, that I need to review move by move. Who cares? But I digress. Thank you very much for watching. Please like and subscribe. I'm going to see you guys tomorrow night. God bless, or whatever you believe in. And I'll see you guys tomorrow night. I need to listen to the experience. Yeah, I mean, that'll be a good start. The problem is, I don't think he'll talk about it until Sunday night, or not Saturday night. So thank you. But anyways, yeah, I do need to go. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys tomorrow night.